But anyway, the Sixers fired Doc Rivers. A hire they should have probably never made. In retrospect, you kind of look at the guy's record in the postseason and you say,
I mean, he's won a championship.
Yeah, I mean, he had Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, and you figure
Kendrick Perkins before his knee injury.
Well, okay.
He had Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo before his ego took over.
Kind of had to form the first super team to do it.
Yeah, and then here's what he's also got. Whenever his team is in a closeout game, he has 33 losses. He has the most. He has the most game.
A lot of closeout losses.
Most game 7 losses in history.
Hey, but you got to get to those.
I think it's the most second round exits.
Right. He's also got a ring, right? So
yes, he does have that ring. He does.
But I know,
absolutely.
Like 15 years ago.
Yeah, and I will also say Tyrone Lue also has a ring, but he had.
Yeah. Okay.
Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, LeBron. They did beat the.
Tyree.
True.
He's a coach somewhere, right?
Yes, yeah. And how have the Clippers been since he's taken over?
Yeah, they did fine. They just lots of injuries.
Did they get out of the second? Great. Did they get out of the second? Have they gotten out of the second round?
Lots of injuries.
Have they gotten out of the second round?
Lots of injuries.
Okay. They've also not got out of the second round. I don't care.
Fine.
I'm just saying, like. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about sports.
Without Tim today.
We're missing our leader.
And a few days late.
Yeah, late. We're missing our leader.
No, Tim. Things are falling apart.
We're gonna struggle through it for you guys, though.
Yeah, it's all for you.
Yeah, all 4 of you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, a lot happened in the NBA. That's really why we're here. It's because there's so much to have in the NBA. We were like, well, we can't just put off a week because
by then, like, a whole bunch more is going to happen, and we're going to be really far behind.
We're going to be halfway into the conference championships,
and we're going to be back to hour-and-a-half long episodes, and we're going to only be talking about 2 fucking games.
Can't fucking do it, man.
No.
All right. So
he did it again. Ja Morant did it again.
Well, we're going to start out there. That's the first topic. That's the first topic we're starting out.
That is where we're starting. We're going to go ahead. We're starting at he did it again. Yeah, because his stupidity is
beyond
stronger than everything else. You take $40 million away from him, and then he does the same shit again.
You lose a bunch of sponsorships, right? He's lost a ton of money.
He missed out on the All-NBA team, which would have triggered a $39 million increase on his next contract that he's already put pen to paper. Pen is already on paper. He would have triggered. He would have gotten $39 million with an All-NBA selection.
Who knows,
what
doing this shit?
So just to explain to me, because I mean I know what he did, but why is it so bad what he did?
Well, the reason it's so bad is because in the off season last summer, he had an incident at his house playing a pickup ball with a 17-year-old. Got a little too serious. They got into a scuffle where he allegedly punched the kid 12 times in the face and then went inside, came back with a gun in his waistband.
Okay.
Then there was an incident where they were playing the Indiana Pacers and they had to escort his friend out of the game because his friend stepped onto the court, which then led to an altercation between his friend and personnel that works for the Pacers. And when they were leaving that arena, Ja Morant in the car, a laser fixed on the Pacers team bus.
Right, with players said they had a laser on the chest. Yeah, on them.
And then you had this guy get suspended, and whenever they suspended him, it was for conduct that was detrimental to the league or to the team. It's not for the fact that he has a gun. Guns, it's not illegal in Tennessee for him to have a gun if that's where he was. But if you also look at the concerning thing is every picture,
possibly pointing it.
every
to-
picture you see of him with a gun, he's pointing it at his own head. But the guy who posted the video to Instagram Live of
You,
this
wait,
most recent one.
You forgot about the nightclub incident.
Oh, there's the nightclub incident with a gun. That's the one that got him suspended.
Yeah. So this is like his sixth incident with a gun.
Yeah. And the problem,
in which he's, like
the guy that he was hanging that posted this to Instagram Live is the same guy that got kicked out of the Pacers game for stepping on the court and starting these instances.
Yeah, you probably need to get this dude out of his life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things he needs to get out of his life, and it doesn't seem like it's getting through to him. Though.
And it's a dangerous game that he's playing as well. I mean, you're flashing guns around, acting one way. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to go down there. I mean.
No, yeah, you're right.
This could become a thing where, with how freely he waves guns around, this could be cause for concern for his safety and other people's safety at this point. So.
Yeah, somebody's gonna come looking for trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen.
It's just like,
You hate to agree with Stephen A. Smith, but he said on Sunday, whenever this broke, he's like, between Zion Williamson's body and Ja Morant's decision making, RJ Barrett is clearly the best player out of that draft for the Knicks. And think about that. Like, these are two guys, Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, who, when they're on the court, it is electric. Like, both of those players are absolutely studs.
Ja Morant looked like he was going to be the next thing, right?
And he still can be. I mean,
he still can be. And you want him to. You want him to get things right, man.
But then you also have to think about the reason that Memphis has stated they don't want to bring back Dillon Brooks is because they want to change the culture of this team. Now, does your culture really change whenever your star player's
doing that?
Is now facing a second suspension for guns? And let's not even talk about the fact that they are actually a statistically better team, and they actually have a better winning percentage over the last few years when Ja Morant doesn't even play. When Ja Morant doesn't play, they have a better winning percentage. So now you have to ask the question, he's not irreplaceable. Tyrus Jones, they're back.
Have you seen the guy play, though?
He's incredible. He is incredible. But
once he elevates, you can't stop him.
Yeah, but the Lakers found a way to stop him when he got in the air.
Is he a case of that thing they talk about in basketball with empty numbers? I can't.
I don't know.
It doesn't.
He has some big stat lines, but it doesn't actually contribute to winning.
The thing with Ja is, I think that it does, but I think that it's just he plays at the pace in which he plays with is very similar to a Russell Westbrook. But he also has a lot of Derrick Rose in him, and his game is expanding. Like, his game, one of his flaws was his outside shot, and then he's in the playoffs having games where he's knocking down 5 threes. The dude, and he did it he hit threes consistently throughout the postseason. So, I mean, he's got the game, and it's just, I don't know what it is. He's not a great defender, so that's why you play Dillon Brooks the amount that you have to play him in those games, because he kind of has to pick up the slack. But yeah, I don't feel like when I watch him, it's like watching Harden or Westbrook, where I feel like those numbers are kind of empty. But
let's
we can get into some actual action.
Should we? Okay.
Sorry, I had to yell about that for a couple of minutes.
Well, let's talk about round 2, right? That wrapped up.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Lakers Warriors, huh?
Yeah,
Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6. We did not get to see a good version of Game 6 Clay. I was really banking on that. Game 6 Clay was not good. Yeah, that Warriors team, and I love the way they handle themselves. They're like, we weren't very good.
Right. No, they know what championships look like, and when they don't play up to that standard. But yeah, is it the end of that championship dynasty Warriors?
I don't think it is. I just think it needs a little bit of retweaking, and also this year did have that cloud over it, and they've even said that Steve Kerr said he didn't feel like the team was able to recover that trust from Draymond's punching Jordan Poole, that there was definitely a trust factor that was damaged.
You got one of your veterans punching your guy who you just signed for a bunch of money. Yeah. Now it doesn't, that contract looks kind of bad as well.
Right? Yeah, because now I kind of want to punch Jordan Poole. You know, like this series to me kind of explained why Jordan Poole got punched in the mouth by Draymond. I was like, I didn't hear anything he was saying on the court, but I mean, like, it was not impactful.
Play some
defense, and like really, it's his shot selection that really kills me. He shoots like Curry. Curry's guilty of the same thing, but he's Steph fucking Curry,
and he makes those shots.
Yeah, Jordan Poole does it, and you're just like, dude, like,
you're not.
That's just because of your bad spacing. Like game 1, he lost him the game because he cluttered up the fucking spot, and obviously you'd rather have him take that shot than Draymond, so you get the ball in his hands, and you have 3 seconds. You could take a couple steps in, take the shot, but instead you pull up from 31 feet for nothing, and you brick it, and that's a game on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Then just be an absolute no-show in other games, like,
yeah,
you know, I absolutely think that the Andrew Wiggins, there's rumors about why he wasn't with the team there at the end. But he came back and he was in shape. Like, he didn't look like he had missed much of a beat. A little slow defensively, I'd say, in the first round, but up until his rib injury, like, that dude, he was playing pretty solid in round 2. I wasn't expecting much scoring out of him whenever you're asking him to be your primary defender on LeBron James.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think Clay is not getting any younger, right? Obviously not. None of them are, right?
No,
they're aging. Draymond,
yeah, and
are gonna his contract is coming up.
Draymond has a player option.
Okay.
For I want to say 17 or 25. I know it's a weird gap that I'm on there, but for some reason that's what my brain is saying. But he has a player option to where he can obviously opt in and get his money. But my expectation would be that he would opt out and then renegotiate a longer term deal.
Okay. Yeah. If he knows they're going to give him that longer term,
yeah,
obviously he'll do that before he opts out.
Yeah, we've seen it with other players similar to him, like, yeah, you can leave and get the money elsewhere. Like, you could easily go sign with the Hornets. You could go probably sign with the Trailblazers, but you're not going to win with them.
Right.
And you would get your money, but then you would be a Lance Stevenson.
The Draymond's got 4 rings,
He does. He already has the ring, so he could do whatever he wants and be happy.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so I just think that I think you can probably get him. And Clay's got 1 year left, I want to say.
Yeah, he's got that 1 more year left.
So I think you'd play it out with him.
Yeah, and then what? Like, what if you don't?
Obviously, if you're the Golden State,
be after that?
Your hope for the Golden State Warriors is that he decides if he has taken that much of a drop off, if it happens again next year and it's even worse, that he just retires.
Yeah.
Like you said,
no one would blame him.
He's got 4 rings, but also 2 serious ligament injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and he's already Hall of Fame status.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you've already got young pieces in place to where you're not destroying the foundation. Because Gary Payton the second is a very solid defender, capable there. And then Jordan Poole when his head's in the game, which is typically when he's getting more minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if they have I don't know. Can the Warriors replenish?
I think they still
lose a Clay and Draymond, or
well, you look at their bench and you've already got
the same.
You look at the bench and you've already got people in place that just aren't 100% ready for that. Weren't ready for it now, but maybe next year could be like a Jonathan Kuminga. Okay. Jonathan Kuminga could kind of come in and fill that Draymond role as the underside. You just need to get him a little angrier He needs to play a little angrier. And then we saw throughout this playoff series, Moody was out there a lot. That's your obvious.
He's all right.
Those are both second or third year players that they got drafted very early.
Okay.
So those are guys that you would see fill that gap from within.
But if you're telling me these are the next, Clay and Draymond, I gotta see it first.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
Draymond
up to, man.
Draymond Green wasn't Draymond Green until David Lee got hurt. When David Lee got hurt, they inserted Draymond Green into the starting lineup, and David Lee never wanted that starting spot back.
Yeah.
And the Warriors became the Warriors. That's how it happened. I mean, Klay Thompson wasn't a thing until Monta Ellis was gone.
Yeah, but
that needed to happen too.
I get it.
But yeah, I mean, Moody played. I think you saw some encouraging signs from him.
If you tell me they have the next David Lee, I'll believe you. But if you tell me they have the next Draymond Green,
no, and I'm not saying he's the next Draymond. I'm just saying that they have players that are viable candidates already on the roster.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to predict that these guys are the next wave of 4-time champions, first ballot, probably Hall of Fame type guys. Not going to say that. I just think they have some talent that is intriguing.
I think Steph is good enough to where you can still build around him for a few more years.
Yeah, I mean,
you can, whether it's draft or through a trade or,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's 35.
Agency.
So, which is crazy.
Yeah, he is 35. God damn.
So, I mean, you're not really building.
Right, you're right there. He hasn't dropped off that much, has he?
Yeah. No, I don't think Steph's dropped off at all.
He's played some of his best
basketball the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's just been hurt. Yeah. This year, they suffered from injuries, and they weren't able to fit. The Miami Heat blowing me away because they were a very injured team throughout the whole season, and they're injured throughout the postseason, and they're just, they got Jimmy Butler, so they're okay.
Right.
Like,
it's the playoffs and Jimmy comes last.
Dude, like, yeah, that's
what
wild.
About
yeah.
All right.
That's enough of the Warriors, maybe.
That's the Warriors, okay.
Yeah, that's the Warriors. We're on prediction mode there. Congrats to the Lakers. They played a very good series. Very good series. I feel like
they surprised a lot of people.
I mean, Anthony Davis
played a hell of a series, man.
Hell of a series. Played very well. Proved me wrong. D'Angelo Russell played
great.
Austin Reeves is incredible. Yeah, they got a lot of Ham coached a hell of a series.
Yeah. I mean, we just saw them lose against the Nuggets, but they fought back.
Yeah, and that's going to be I think that's a long series. I think we're talking potentially 6-7 games.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I think
I don't think that Nuggets winning that 4 or anything.
Oh, I don't. The Warriors in 6 is not that you're happy because you didn't go to 7, but that is hard 6 games on your body. Like, you see how much Steph and Clay constantly move without the ball. So,
and man, you know what? I still kind of think the Lakers are going to get this.
Are we going to have
the Nuggets in the finals?
Dude,
the Nuggets in a finals? Like, I get that they should.
Are we going to get the bubble rematch? Caliber, we might get a bubble rematch.
Dude, we could get the bubble rematch.
We might get the fucking bubble rematch outside the bubble.
Hey. Like, so you say, will you change your mind about the bubble then? Will you change your tone on the bubble?
There was no fans. There's players opting out. I didn't love it.
Yeah,
It was basketball when we needed basketball. It was something we needed at that time. We needed something.
And the team
Absolutely.
that was the best one.
The Phoenix Suns were actually the best team in that bubble tournament. They just weren't invited in. The Phoenix Suns were freaking incredible. It was weird.
It was weird.
That was weird.
All right. Good job, Lakers.
Yeah.
What was the Heat? Let's go on to the Heat.
Well, we'll go to the
Sixers.
Yeah, dude. There's more stuff. There's been more fallout following that.
I thought you wanted to talk about your team. Okay.
Well, we're going to talk about the matchup after we talk about the Sixers getting eliminated in round 2 again. It's almost
you're
like
excited about this. He's excited about this, guys. He's happy.
I'm just saying, like,
he's excited.
Hey, and guess what? The player who played the worst in this game in their elimination games did. He threw players who played better than him under the bus. I mean,
I guess in the one,
me and James can't do it. Joel Embiid had the largest drop off in points per scoring from regular season to postseason of any MVP winner in history.
Yeah, he has
the 9-point drop off in scoring. Yes, he did have the bum knee, but Al Horford fucking owned him and always has, and that's why Philly signed him instead of keeping Jimmy Butler. And it also cost them JJ Redick. They could have kept Jimmy Butler and had somebody put a little dog in Ben Simmons, because Jimmy Butler would have put the dog in that dude. I like Philly sports to an extent, but this is a piss poor run organization. Well, and the Commanders are about to be ran by the same people, and I love that.
I think the process is about to be blown up. That's for sure.
Well, the process is gonna fucking dip on them.
I mean, yeah, he could. You think Joel will go somewhere else now? I think he's out.
I think Harden's gone. Unless if they bring in Mike D'Antoni, dude, then obviously James Harden got Doc Rivers fired.
I mean, like, what? Harden's going to go to his 9th team.
They're saying I've heard a lot about him back to the Rockets.
Yeah, I heard those rumors too. And like the Rockets are so desperate, and like oh man, the only time we've been relevant for a while is when we had James Harden. So
if he's smart, he'll go to another Texas team that bottomed out.
With the Spurs. Yeah.
He'd have to.
I was going to say it's them or the Mavericks. All the Texas teams have bottomed out.
Yeah, I would definitely go with the Spurs.
None of the Texans. All 3 teams in Texas missed the playoffs. Didn't even make the play-in game.
Yeah. Well, only one of them intentionally did it.
Yeah, that's
missed it. But yeah, so
any good? Oh, I guess the Astros are good.
So yeah, the Astros
good in Texas right now.
And any good sports? It depends on if you consider the Cowboys good.
Right now they're good in their fan size. This is when the Cowboys are the best.
They've never
Super Bowl.
They've never been.
Yeah. But anyway, the Sixers fired Doc Rivers. A hire they should have probably never made. In retrospect, you kind of look at the guy's record in the postseason and you say,
he's won a championship.
Yeah, I mean, he had Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, and you figure
Kendrick Perkins before his knee injury.
Well, okay.
He had Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo before his ego took over.
Kind of had to form the first super team to do it.
Yeah, and then here's what he's also got. Whenever his team is in a closeout game, he has 33 losses. He has the most. He has the most game.
A lot of closeout losses.
Most game 7 losses in history.
Hey, but you got to get to those.
I think it's the most second round exits.
Right. He's also got a ring, right? So
yes, he does have that ring. He does.
But I know,
absolutely.
Like 15 years ago.
Yeah, and I will also say Tyronn Lue also has a ring, but he had.
Yeah. Okay.
Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, LeBron. They did beat the
Tyree.
True.
He's a coach somewhere, right?
Yes, yeah. And how have the Clippers been since he's taken over?
Yeah, they did fine. They just lots of injuries.
Did they get out of the second? Great. Did they get out of the second? Have they gotten out of the second round?
Lots of injuries.
Have they gotten out of the second round?
Lots of injuries.
Okay. They've also not gotten out of the second round. I don't care.
Fine.
I'm just saying. Like,
you got to get one without LeBron to
Doc. Yeah.
Well, Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra. I mean, he's at least taken a team back to the finals.
I don't think Spoelstra is bad. I think
Spoelstra's great. Spoelstra's great.
But if you're saying that Ty Lue's got to win one without LeBron, same applies to Spoelstra, right?
But Spoelstra won multiple with LeBron. So it's different. And Eric Spoelstra.
He didn't also have to go against Steph Curry in any of those, like the Dynasty Warriors.
True. He did have to go against the big 3 in OKC. Very talented offensive players.
Yeah.
He ran James Harden out of town. He beat them so bad that Sam Presti was like, I know I can afford it, but James Harden, I'm sending you to the Rockets. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that Doc Rivers will be coaching anywhere next year, but I guess I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility for a team like probably not the Phoenix Suns. I don't think him and Chris Paul had a great relationship, but maybe a team like Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Looks to him. I still think Nick Nurse might be a better fit there. But now Phillies.
I think I expect if we want to go to the next coach you got fired, Montel Williams, I expect him to get a job.
Monty.
Yeah. Montel. Yeah. Monty Williams. I expect.
I was like, no way.
No. A lot of talk about him.
I expect him to get a job very quickly.
Yeah, talks of him to the Raptors have already started heating up. That one makes sense. It was kind of weird that he was actually, because he's kind of that coach that you bring in before you bring in the one you want to win, and I think that you know what I mean. Like, so him getting to the NBA Finals and
he started that way. Yeah, maybe that's why they kept him around so long, because he did get to that Finals.
Yeah, but kind of a Mike Budenholzer.
But now he seems like a much more viable coaching candidate.
Yeah. I like Monty. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't think he did a bad job. I mean, you fired a guy, but look what he had. He had KD and Devin Booker, and then a depleted bench that you didn't get. They didn't have a lot of time to gel.
Yeah. So, I hurt Chris Paul.
Hurt DeAndre Ayton in the last game.
Yeah, that's true too.
So
DeAndre got hurt, and DeAndre wasn't like, I don't know if he ever lived up to that in the playoffs to that contract that he got.
No, I wouldn't say that he was great in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
But
a tough sledding, but I think like you said, he'll probably go to the Raptors, or maybe even the Bucks could get him there. I don't know. You might be too young for that.
Wouldn't be a bad hire. I like Monty Williams, so I just don't really know where I'd put him. I don't know that there's a obvious fit this season for him. So I mean, I guess what we can say is so we have like we mentioned earlier, we had the Lakers Nuggets tipped off. Lakers lost game 1. I think the series goes a long time.
Yeah.
Then we also in the East have the Heat versus the Celtics.
Heat versus Celtics, baby.
I don't know, man. I obviously have a team I prefer to win that one.
With what the Celtics just did, to the Sixers, feels like they're gonna be tough to beat, man. Feels like they're gonna be real tough. Feels like they're gonna be a hard out.
They're gonna be a hard out. And here's the thing with them, though. They've played more games in the postseason than the Miami Heat. The Heat are the more rested team. And that's how they wanted it. Miami wanted to be the more rested team.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you want
to? So this is how they wanted Boston. They obviously didn't want them the first round. That's why I think that they didn't throw the game, but I don't think they put their heart and soul in against the Atlanta Hawks in the first play-in game. They wanted the Milwaukee Bucks. They know that matchup very well. They know that that's an easier solve because it's really, okay, we take away Giannis, his ability to play make, see who else can beat us. Round 2, they knew, okay, if we're there, we're going to get either the Heat or the Knicks or the Celtics or the Cavs. They're too young. We're not worried about them. We'll dispatch them as quick as possible. Did that. They would have done it in 4, but Jimmy got hurt, so they did it in 6 instead. Kudos on the Knicks on that, by the way. We talked about that a little bit, but and now they get the Celtics, who've played 2 extra games overall.
Yeah. Did we talk about the Celtics even winning that? Like, did we actually?
No, they're fantastic right now. I
mean, talk about, dude, a game 7 with Tatum.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what'd Steph do?
51.
Like 51. Yeah.
51 for Tatum.
Record. He had to get one more than Steph.
Fantastic.
Dude, nobody in game 7 history had ever gotten 50 points.
And we've got it in 2 rounds.
Yeah. And happened twice already.
And the best part is Philly traded up with Boston the year that Boston drafted Jason Tatum at number 3, where Philadelphia originally picked, to take Markelle Fultz. They got beat by their own bad decision.
Oh.
And if they had beaten that bad decision, they were about to get beat by their other bad decision and letting Jimmy Butler go.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler would have absolutely single-handedly beat that.
Could you imagine if the Sixers had Tatum?
Or Tatum
fucking
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I get it, because at the time it still looked like Simmons was going to be viable for him, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That was going to be the dude. So that obviously taking Tatum, people would have been like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But you were already planning to play. But the thing is, you're already planning to play Simmons at point guard, and then you took a point guard.
Oh yeah,
they are a terribly ran organization. You traded up to make the wrong decision.
Do we have more basketball?
We just have the lottery.
Okay.
To talk about. Spurs got the first overall pick in the NBA draft, which will be on June 22nd.
Yeah, a team that desperate there to finally get a team.
Yeah.
And a guy to build around.
Hornets at number 2. Trailblazers at 3. Would have loved to see them get Dame some help at 1.
I know, man. I would have loved to see the Hornets or the Trailblazers get the number 1 because they're a team that goddamn actually needs something.
Yeah. Rockets got the 4th pick, and I want to say the Pistons rounded out your top 5.
Cool.
So, but yeah. I love that the top gets...
Popovich gets a top pick.
Popovich gets an opportunity to coach
at least it's going to somebody who will hopefully not waste it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very excited for the young kid out of France.
Yeah.
He's going to get to learn from the best and a dude who's been great with international talent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting. I think they're projecting Brandon Miller out of Alabama to go number 2 to the Hornets.
And what a year for Alabama.
Yeah. Would have loved to see LaMelo be able to have the opportunity to play with Wemby. But
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that pretty much covers the NBA for this week.
All right.
I think we did pretty well. We're excited about
coaches getting fired, playoffs getting won.
There's some good openings out there. I mean,
playoffs getting lost.
There are good coaching openings out there. In the NFL, who's your 5 worst teams this season?
5 worst teams?
The teams that are going to be the worst this year. I don't even need all 8.
All right. And we're not even going to go I don't know if I can necessarily put them in an order for you.
Yeah. I just want to see which ones you think are going to be bad. Okay.
So the Falcons, they're going to be terrible. Sorry. They're probably going to be bad again. I hope you're good. Probably going to be bad. Do you have a quarterback?
Does anybody in that division?
Who's the Falcons quarterback? Exactly.
Desmond Ridder.
Thank you. So bad.
Really good college quarterback.
So bad. I mean, you can almost say the same thing for, you're right, that entire division. Like, I don't know if I can trust any of those teams. There could be that makes up almost your top 5 right there.
It kind of fucking does, doesn't it?
The entire NFC South.
Should I have excluded the NFC South from this equation? Or let's limit it to 1.
You may have. Okay.
Let's limit it to 1 from the NFC South. Now that's been brought to our attention.
It's them or the Panthers. I think. Okay. I think the Saints have the best chance of winning that division because they actually have a stable piece at quarterback, right?
But that stable piece is Derek Carr.
Dude, I'm telling, we've seen Derek Carr be. If Derek Carr has a good team around him, he can be fine. Okay. Do what?
I was like, but does he?
Yeah. I think I don't know. We'll find out.
I'm excited to find out that one.
But they're the only team that has a quarterback that, like, if he has a good team, they'll be okay. The other teams, like, if they're a good team, their quarterback sucks, so they might not be okay. Like,
yeah,
it can happen. We saw the Jets just mortgage, their future for a guy who's going to stick around for 2 years because their team's really good, but their quarterback sucks, so they're not okay.
Yeah.
So that's why the Saints are the only one that I'm like, all right, because none of the other teams have a quarterback. Well, the Panthers, we'll see. We'll see if the Panthers have a quarterback, right?
Hey, maybe Desmond Ritter's a guy. We don't know.
Not Desmond. No, the Panthers.
I get, Panthers are Bryce Young. I'm just saying, Desmond Ritter's in his second year.
What? I mean, sure, yeah, Desmond Ridder, right? Yeah, he definitely could. We've seen guys picked much lower.
Which team you think's better, the Texans or the Panthers this year?
Panthers are better team.
Probably Panthers.
Panthers. Panthers weren't Panthers would have been picking at 9 in the draft. Yeah, at 9. So,
but the Panthers,
they already have a better. They have a little bit better foundation than I think Houston.
Man, but Houston got their quarterback too.
Yeah, and they got a D lineman. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a good question.
Sam, this is your list.
That's a good question.
So,
okay, you know what? We're gonna forget about the NFC South right now because I've made my point. I think the next teams I would probably harp on, the Commanders. We're gonna see they also have that QB issue, but they have
Sam Howell.
They've got a new offensive coordinator who could figure out something and what to do with them.
And most importantly, a new owner.
They've got a new owner. I think their whole team feels rejuvenated, right?
The
whole city, the whole fan base, right? The whole organization.
They absolutely should.
They feel great. Yeah, in the city, after seeing their DC Defenders lose to a team that had a losing record, championship. Anyways, the XFL. We can slide in something about them at the end. The Commanders, so maybe not so bad. The Texans, we already talked about them. And then I think really the last team that I would want to hit is the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
That team could be number one.
Spoiler, I think that one I'm gonna think the Cardinals are gonna be on all 3 of our lists.
They're probably topping my list. They're gonna be picking first in the draft next.
There's a very good likelihood they could be. So
that's what they're doing.
That's gonna be spicy.
Yeah. Sneaky. Let's hear you. So Sam, one more time, just run down your 5 teams.
Oh shit! I didn't make 5 teams. I had an entire division.
Well, we said you took your one team from that division.
Yeah, I said the Falcons, right?
Yeah, the Falcons.
Okay, Falcons. Falcons, Commanders, Texans, Cardinals. That's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I have to conclude another team from the NFC South, the Raiders. There you go, the Raiders.
Oh,
okay. Not a saucy pick. I get it. So,
what do the Raiders got? They got Jimmy Garoppolo too, which I get. He's also Derek Carr.
Davante Adams. I mean,
they've got an unhappy Davante Adams.
They got an unhappy Davante.
I don't think they're going to be one of the 5 worst. They're going to be bad.
They had Davante Adams last year, and it looks like the whole team has gotten worse. They've pissed off their running back, and their defense is what now?
I mean, Davante Adams did come out this week and say that he's just not happy with the offense.
Yeah, he said that we're obviously on different pages.
I hate Josh McDaniels.
Today, I think it was today I saw the quote, and I was like, ooh, he is not a happy fella.
Yeah, come on, man. Josh McDaniels is a good head coach.
I get it, Sam. All right, Sneaky, let me hear your 5 worst teams in this upcoming NFL season.
I would have included the Buccaneers, but I couldn't include another NFC South thing. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I got the Cardinals, obviously. I don't think I think the Commanders aren't going to be good, but not 5 worst. I think the Texans and Colts are both going to be really bad.
Oh, shit, why didn't I even talk about the Colts? Oh, the Colts are going to be terrible. The Colts, he's right. Damn it. Switching out the Colts. They're in my number 5.
What was that? So what was that, 3?
Yeah.
And then, you kind of got to return to the NFC South. There's just a hot fucking plate of trash.
It really is a hot plate. That's why I had to put a limit of 1 on there.
Yeah. If you want a little spicier pick, who I think might be bottom 5, the Packers.
Yeah, I get that. But I think, okay, I think the Packers, that is another organization that feels revitalized.
Yeah.
They have got a lot of young pieces, and now that they kind of got the older veteran out, right, and Jordan can come in and work with a lot of those young pieces. I don't know. I think
the initial comments from the organization have not been great about Jordan Love. It's all been, we're going to have to give him time.
But they've seemed to have his back in this. I mean, that
no, I know they've got his back, but
signing him to a contract instead of picking up the option was good.
Everything they're saying sounds like he's not. Like it's
signing him.
Gonna take some time to be ready.
Signing him to a contract was so that they could not pay him the big money.
But it also makes it's not that far off of the 5th year option, but it makes sense because why would you
over 2 years?
Why would you pick up an option on a guy that you've seen at this point you've seen start 1 game?
You wouldn't. Well, you've seen him start 2 games. You wouldn't.
He only started 1. He played in 2. Or he played in more than 2, but he came in for injury relief. He only had to start against the Chiefs.
I thought he started at least 1 game last year.
No, because Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he played against the Eagles.
Okay.
And he looked good against the Eagles. And if you look at, he had some decent throws in that anticipation, stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, you literally haven't seen anything of him. But no, you can't, right? But the Packers kind of screwed themselves with this whole situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it absolutely comes down to how good Jordan Love's going to be.
Yeah, and I mean, they were able to transition. They made the transition pretty seamlessly last time, so that's why I give them a little faith. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think they're closer to 500.
Mm-hmm.
But
they could be in a very tough division. The North is just going to be hard to figure out, right? Because you can see the Bears taking a jump from first to worst. Even you could see the Lions finally fulfilling all that potential that they've, that we've seen with them and Dan Campbell.
And you don't know what.
I think the North is going to be the NFC North is going to be a really interesting division this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sneaky, one more time. Let me hear your 5 worst teams.
Yeah. So we're going to Cardinals.
Of course.
Just pick, I guess, any one from the NFC South because I can only have one. Texans and Colts.
The good picks.
And shit, maybe the Titans. I don't know if the Titans are going to be very good either.
Yeah, both Southern divisions are going to suck ass.
Yeah, Jaguars are like
the only
front runner.
I think the Jaguars are going to win that division by a minimum 3 games.
Very possible.
The Titans, the only thing I see hope with them is that they have a good coach who could probably get some wins out of them against, the Colts and the Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely see the Titans beating up on their own division.
But even if you win all of your division games, that's 6 games.
Yeah, but that you're still going to be doing better than at least those 2 other teams. Shit.
No.
But man, I guess that maybe I'll switch the Raiders or the Commanders out for the Colts. I don't know.
I would. I think the Colts are going to be worse.
You're probably right.
Yeah. I think my bottom 5, of course, the Arizona Cardinals. Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, I think we all agree they're going to be number 1.
Yeah. I think Tennessee Titans going to be bad. God, I almost could take the rest of that division and just round out almost all of it.
The Southern divisions are.
I think AFC South is. I think AFC South is going to be worse than NFC South. Like looking at them, I'm like,
no, because I mean, at least we know who's like
NFC South.
We're like 99% certain who's going to win the AFC South next year.
Yeah, NFC South. I'm gonna have to probably go. Okay, so I've got my 2. I'm gonna say the Rams. I think the Rams are gonna be bad.
Yeah, they're that's
They're
another
shitty.
that I keep seeing Matt Stafford come up on top 5 lists and shit, and I'm like, what are we watching here?
Yeah, when is Cooper Kupp available? Because they've got the youngest roster in football, and it's not a good young.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't seen anything from them to make me believe they're going to be any better than last year.
I am going to go to the AFC West for one of my teams. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
Worse
than the Raiders?
Yeah. It's just different. I think that the expectations that they are putting on themselves again are going to lead to a world of pain.
Yep.
I'm not impressed with Sean Payton. I
think he's a good enough coach that he could have gotten them an extra couple wins last year.
Seriously. Probably.
It feels like he could have done more with the teams that he had.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he missed 3 years of Drew Brees' prime. He finished 7-9 3 years in a row with prime Drew Brees, throwing for over 4,000 yards, close to 5,000. Yeah,
and those were when they had some dog shit defenses, right? But
yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, he got his team into salary cap hell. He's gonna get the Broncos into salary cap hell. Yeah, boys.
They are kind of doing it. It is kind of happening.
Woo! They already overpaid for two subpar offensive linemen.
Yeah.
First day of free agency, they overpaid out the ass on those guys. Neither team seemed inclined at all to make those kind of offers for their own players.
You did that with a coach who was number 3rd on your option of coaches to hire.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Yeah, he wasn't their first option at coach. So yeah,
who do they want more?
DeMeco Ryans.
And Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, they were pretty deep in talk. They were trying to get.
Yeah, no, I heard both of those names turned him down before they went to Sean Payton. So
yeah. And just because I love fucking chaos, maybe more than sneaky, apparently, I'm gonna say the fucking Jets. Yet again, I'm kind of basing this off of the expectations that they've given themselves, like the Denver Broncos. I mean, you hired the offensive mind who did absolutely nothing with the Broncos last year. You brought in players from a Packers team that missed the playoffs.
To be fair, Hackett, with this same offense, pretty much with the same quarterback and wide receiver core, did get to a couple NFC championships.
He did, but he also had Devontae Adams with those. He didn't. The Packers receivers he got were not Devontae Adams. They were Adam Lazard, Alan Lazard, and fucking Randall Cobb.
And a soft-ass division.
Yeah, and right now they are, in my eyes,
not bad.
The AFC East is they are 3rd best, potentially 4th, depending on what if an offensive coordinator can get Mac Jones back to where he was the last time he had an offensive coordinator, then I believe in the Patriots more.
I don't think they're going to be top 5 worst, man. I don't know if they'll hit
I'm also saying
expectations that they think
I'm rooting for chaos, Sam. I'm rooting for it.
I am too, because that will give us a lot of great stuff to talk about. If the Jets are bad, it will be hilarious.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jets are going to be bottom 5, but I think they're going to be bad.
Yeah. Because look how good guys, look how good they were with fucking Zach Wilson.
And like I said,
they were a pretty decent team, at least. And you give them a better quarterback.
It's just
how many times
he's better skill wise, but I think it's the same shit.
Yeah, and how many times throughout history have we seen a team that was so in love with their fucking cast of players that they were like, we are an elite quarterback away. If we just get that elite quarterback, it'll mask up for any deficiency we have. And we're just going to get that piece and we're going to be plugged right into a title favorite. We saw it last year.
What the Jets did with Brett Favre.
Brett Favre. We saw it with the Vikings and Brett Favre. It was true. They were that piece away, and they should have gotten there, but
they should have.
But we did see it work. We have seen it work, but
we've
someone that's what we saw it work with.
Brady,
obviously Brady and Peyton going to Bucks and Broncos, but we also just recently saw it work with the Rams.
Yeah,
getting Matt Stafford.
We did.
a team that said we're a quarterback away, and they were a quarterback away. So I mean,
the problem is it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's a 38-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
You know what I mean when I say
Matt Stafford. I don't know. Like people were saying the same thing about Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford's got that dog in him, though.
Nobody was saying that Matt Stafford was a lying anti-vaxxer.
Well, okay, there was the on the field stuff that doesn't really have much to do with how
blame from himself.
Matt Stafford typically does show up to his team activities too. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers.
They've said he's shown up
with the Jets.
The Jets, yeah.
Which my Packers,
it's the new thing.
Which my Packers fan GM is very upset about. He was not
showing up.
That was his exact words. He's like, now he shows up.
If he's there next year, probably not showing up. I know the anti-vaxxer who now loves his brand new team owned by one of the guys who makes the vaccines that he doesn't trust.
Don't you just love a fucking full circle?
The biggest clown in history.
No.
God damn.
Yeah.
He's so distrustful of all this shit for, whatever.
I'll take your money.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
no, I don't have principles. No.
Principles?
He's got principles, guys. It's make a shit ton of money playing
football. That.
Okay? Like
principles with a money S.
Absolutely.
Principles. I mean, that's a lot of people's principles. You understand?
Yeah, so that's the teams I think will be the bottom 5.
I love that Jets and Broncos take. I love that.
You got to, man. I just don't see it with the Broncos.
I guess I need a spicier take, you guys. I didn't have a spicy take. Sorry.
You're good. I mean, you picked the teams that you thought were going to be the worst. Sneaky pick the
Commanders
teams.
Was my spiciest pick.
That's a pretty.
Raiders.
Yeah.
But when I look at it again, I'm like, no, we could take out the Commanders and the Raiders and put in the Colts and Titans. That's really who should have been.
I honestly, instead of the Jets, I was very close to putting the Minnesota Vikings.
I mean, we'll see. They could regress. They could definitely regress.
They are known to do that after making the playoffs.
They've got a new defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah. I believe so. And they also have a pissed off running back who doesn't want to be there, that they don't want there, but they're willing to talk to him about staying there.
Well.
Plus, kind of like what you said, I think the Bears make a leap. I think the Lions win the division, and I think the Packers finish closer to 500.
Mm-hmm.
So I smell 4-13 all over that Vikings team. I don't know why they reek of 4-13, but that's
that bad, huh?
I just
they could. Come out and just
they're due for a fucking egg. They haven't laid one in a few years.
And the Vikings.
Kirk Cousins, man, he'll get you that positive side of the 500.
The Vikings are that team that only make the playoffs every 2-3 years, and they do it consistently every few years, but they don't consistently make the playoffs every year. They just are no, we got to take at least. Yeah, right. Yeah, they kind of are. They're
kind of like the Chiefs in the 90s.
Those assholes are going to have a first place schedule this year, so.
Yep.
Man.
How many of their games are in prime time?
2.
Oh, that's a good question. Probably not many.
We don't count Thursday night as prime time, right?
You do, yeah.
That's prime time,
yes,
yeah.
That's prime time.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Anything after 7 p.m.
5. 6, 5 games in prime time as of right now.
Shit.
Yeah, because they got the Eagles in week 2 on Prime Video. Then they got the 49ers week 7 on Monday.
By the Eagles on prime time.
Yeah. Then they get Denver on Sunday night. Then they get Chicago on Monday night in week 11 and 12. So back-to-back weeks, we get to be force-fed that. And then Green Bay week 17.
Cool.
But yeah, guys.
Thanks.
I think we did it, guys.
I think so. I think we're there.
Yeah. So as always, thanks everybody for watching.
We're just doing the worst teams.
We're just gonna do the worst this week. Next week, let's hit the best. This way we get to think on it.
Yeah.
I don't even need to think on that. That one's easy.
It really is. But maybe your mind will change.
Maybe somebody gets injured.
Yeah, maybe you won't put the Broncos in your top 5 best teams.
No,
it's not even funny.
Chiefs,
but anyway,
Eagles,
thanks for watching.
Bengals.
Bills,
Ravens, and Niners.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and have a good week. You know,
have a great week.
Feel it out.
Right.